Hey guys, Serial Entrepreneur here for another episode of the Digital Marketing School, and in this episode we're going to go ahead and talk about email marketing and email automation, kind of how to set up your first campaign, some things to know about sending email marketing campaigns, and kind of which software I prefer to use and why I prefer to use it. So just to go ahead and get started, email marketing, if we're looking at just the campaign launch, right, so you just get a new customer and you're trying to look at how to start their email campaign. Or I guess before that, you're trying to determine which software to use. So there's two big ones out there that there's more than that. There's also Constant Contact. There's a bunch of them out there, but there's a couple ones that I prefer to use, and it's ActiveCampaign or MailChimp. Those are just the two that I've used the most, and I feel like work the best, especially if you're new to something like this. They're very easy to use, very easy to understand. So my first preference is ActiveCampaign. I really like that software the most. That's what I use for about 75 to 80% of the businesses that I work with. There are some that you will use MailChimp, or you'll just choose to use MailChimp because of the functionality of it. Maybe it's the cost. It's cheaper to use for that one, and you just need something basic. ActiveCampaign I feel like is a little bit more involved, a little more in depth. So that's why I prefer to use it, though. It gives you more features that you can take advantage of. So again, I personally use this campaign. The cool thing is if you join their partner program on ActiveCampaign also, once you get your second account set up, so say you set up an email account for your business and then you set one up for your first client, you automatically get a 25% discount on all the services that you purchase from them. So that's really, really cool feature right there. An automatic 25% discount on everything as soon as you sign up more than one account. So really cool feature to know there. Sorry if you hear me sniffing. I am a little sick, but I got to keep this stuff going. All right, so MailChimp, it's the largest used probably email automation software platform out there. And again, it's very easy to use for email building. The templated building for MailChimp I feel like is definitely easier to use than ActiveCampaign. If you've never done something like this before, ActiveCampaign gives you a little more customization. So that's where the difficulty comes in. So whichever platform you do choose to use, you'll want to start by integrating any services or third-party sites and softwares that you use for your business. For example, your Facebook business page, you can integrate Google Analytics so it can track all the way back from your email marketing campaigns to see how that coordinates with your social accounts, your website, all of that. And then your WordPress or your Shopify account, you can integrate with these. So make sure you get all of the accounts set up that you're going to want to get set up. Cool thing is when you're in here, you can see integrate services. They give you this nice little help bar, and I don't know why it still says integrate services here. I pretty much have everything that I want integrated. This is a look at the partner account. So you can see, and I'll start adding, actually I have two others that I need to get in here, but this is with the 25% discount. It's usually I think like $10. So you can see it's just a really cool place. You can log into both of your accounts from one spot, and then it takes you here to your actual dashboard. So it's a really cool tool to use, very easy to use in my opinion. After you integrate your accounts, you'll want to import any contacts if they have an email list or a CSV file with a bunch of emails that have already accepted or allowed them to send them marketing emails. You can easily upload a new CSV or file there. Excuse me. And then next you need to create your first series or your opener series. I like to go with a series called the KLTCC series, and it's something Sean Vossler, if you're not familiar with Sean Vossler, he is a very, very respected or respectable email marketer. He knows a lot about email marketing. That's how he's made most of his money, is through building email lists and email content to convert sales. So he starts off with a KLTCC series, Know, Like, Trust, Challenge, Convert. 5 really easy things. And really it's to warm them up, to get them to like you, get them to know you before you try and sell them something, because people don't like to be sold, I guess people don't want to be hard sold. They want to be kind of comforted, and they want to know that their purchase is going to be a good decision and not affect them negatively when they do make that decision. So it's a great way to start. So you really just need to create the email automation series. Always start with an intro series for new subscribers. So this is just an automation that triggers when someone's initially or first subscribes to your email subscribe list. It's something that you don't have to worry about once you get it set up. You might want to check it and make sure that it's optimized as far as the campaign itself, so the copy, the creative, make sure it's effective. But outside of that, you don't have to touch it. So that's why it's very useful. You're communicating with an audience that you never even really have to click a button for after you set it up the first time. So, and just a quick overview. Give them a brief intro to your business. Send them something funny, emotionally appealing, useful, etc., to get them to really like you. So this is where you provide them value. Get them to trust you. So by showing them a review or giving them more value, something for free, you could do that. Challenge them. So challenge them to find a better solution or a better deal, a better product or service out there than yours. Give them a reason to question why aren't they using your product as opposed to a competitor's. And then convert. So the very last one, you're doing all the warming up in the first 4 emails. The convert email is a straight sale. You just put a product in front of them, give them a discount or a promotion, something like that, and hope that they convert there. So what I like to do is set that up, get it started. If there's no engagement with that series whatsoever, I'll probably remove that person from the list. There's one or two things. You'll either remove that person from the list if they don't have any engagement with any of the emails whatsoever, like not one of them gets open. What some people also like to do, and this is what I prefer to do, I prefer, before I remove them from the list, I try to send them this series again. So I actually have it set up to where if a person doesn't view any of the content or any of the emails sent in this series, it sends the series again. Because they don't know that you're sending it twice, they probably didn't look at it the first time. So you're going to try and see if it works a second time. If not, then you might try maybe sending them different types of promotions, stuff like that. I don't like to remove them. A lot of people like to remove them if they don't respond after the first time. I found that sometimes people do open up. It just takes them a little to catch their attention sometimes. So I try to send it again. If it doesn't work again, I'll send an extra promotion or something even better to entice them to buy. And that's really it. You set that email up. So this is kind of how it would look like in ActiveCampaign. First, you'd have to create the templates for that email, or you'd have to create the actual emails for that series. So what we're going to do, let's see here, campaigns. You can manage your templates. And you can see it comes with a bunch of preset templates in here. You can see I took this review template and just customized it to be my own. But this is where you create the actual series for your email series, for your Know, Like, Trust, Challenge, Convert series. So let me see if I can find So this is the welcome email, or the know email. It gets them to know us. So we have a little picture, one link. There's some product description in this email, just a little bit, and then maybe check us out on Facebook. But we try not to go to, there doesn't need to be, and actually I'll go into the rules in a minute. But you can see the content though it's very, it relates or portrays my business exactly how I want them to see my business. So you can see the wording. Don't worry, dude, we got you. Our socks even make Pee Wee Herman look like a boss. Alright, so obviously by saying these words, I'm probably targeting a younger audience, probably not too old, because what older person says talks like a boss, that's more of a younger thing. So that's what I'm catering to. You can see like all of the cool America stuff. It's just something that appeals to a younger audience that you can tell. And then you have the mobile version, what it would look like right here. And that's basically it. Gives them options to click those if you like. You can always remove those, but this is basically it. It's super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And then you create the email for all of these. So let me see. That was no. I'll show you what a like email looks like. And for the like email, what I did was I found a funny clip, kind of that goes into fashion. And when you play it, it's just style advice by Ryan Gosling. I love this movie though. It's so funny. Alright, so that's basically, it's a quick little video. There's some, let me see, go back. There's a little bit of text involved, and you don't have to do it this way. You can do something completely different. A link that goes to my website, and that's it. Very simple, not a lot. And the other thing you want to do, which I didn't do on this one, or I didn't do in this email series just because I was quickly setting this up. This was test. But you actually can set little tags right here. So it says Bro Chica. I could actually change that out to have it automatically insert the person's first or last name if I wanted. It makes it more personal, makes it more relatable to them because they know you're talking directly to them and it's not just some mass email. And you can actually do the same exact thing inside the subject line or something like that. Captures their attention. So that's no like. Trust again is just, you can see it's just a review with somebody saying how great something was, and then a picture very quickly. Nothing too hard there. Challenge. We'll look at that really quick. The challenge email. Let's see. I show a difference in price between our socks and Happy Socks, which is our biggest competitor. So you can see we were just showing a comparison of price. We do a little bit of what's going on here, and again, no more than 2 to 3 links. You can see that right there. And this one actually probably has too many. I probably would take out this one and the Americans and just leave check out our store and socks. Honestly, that's actually I'd probably take out socks and socks apparel, and I'd just leave the Americans and check out our store. But that's just, in my opinion, 4 links is almost too many, and that actually can cause it to go to a spam folder. So you want to be careful with that. But you can see the content. The exact same pair of socks sold by Happy Feet is almost exactly half the moolah at socks. Ambro Chica, we know what you're thinking. Scam. Those socks are those socks legit? Quality must suck. But the reality is that we aren't based over in Sweden, and we don't see why someone needs to pay $16 for a single pair of socks with a sick design. We know that you're a logical person and a savvy deal hunting machine. So next time you go to buy some insanely awesome socks, we know you'll think of us at Socks Apparel. Deuces. But you can see it's getting them to like us, getting them to trust us. We're challenging the competitor by showing something that we offer that is different or better than theirs. And then convert is just a straight sale. Take them to the website, give them a deal, something like that. All right, and that's it. Very, very basic. Don't overcomplicate it again, please. Keep it simple. But that's it for the No Like Trust Challenge Convert series. And then what you want to know after that is really, what does a good email include? Alright, so you'll want to make sure that a few things, you don't want, number one, you don't want your emails going to the spam folder. They'll never get read. Number two, you want to have attractive subject lines and beginning portions of your email, so that way it actually entices the person to open the email. If they don't open the email, you're never going to have any success with your email campaigns, right? So you'll want to make sure that your email series doesn't get set to spam or spam folders or flagged as malicious content. So to do this, there are several rules you'll want to follow, and here are a few. Number one, never send an image or a video by itself. That automatically usually sends it straight to the spam folder. Don't load your emails don't load your emails with links. So I would use 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most. Don't ever go more than 3. I try to stick around 1 or 2 links per email. Number 3, make sure that the email doesn't contain any trigger words or phrases like buy now, click here, purchase this, click this link. And there's actually a link right here with 200 of the most common that get flagged. It's not to say that you can't ever use those words, but you don't want to use click here 15 times in one email. That email's going to a spam folder. Another thing is to remove inactive subscribers, and the reason why is if you're sending a bunch of email content out, right, but those people never open your email ever, I guess the way it works is the search engines like Google, or not search engines, but the email providers like Gmail, Hotmail, all of that, they start to recognize that you're not opening those emails. So then they automatically flag it as a spam email. Even if you used to open it forever ago, if it's been years since you've opened an email, they might start to consider that as spam. So you want to remove inactive subscribers because of the fact that it actually gives you a negative score when a email is sent from your domain. And then what eventually happens is if you keep those inactive subscribers on there, every email domain or email hosting service is going to start to flag your content. So just make sure you're removing inactive subscribers. The next biggest thing is just going to be the email content itself. So make sure that it contains a strong subject line. Try and make it personal. If you can include the person's name, again, you can set up tags to do that. It needs to be relevant, so don't write anything clickbaity. So if your email, if you're not giving away $1,000 in your email and it's just about like your mom's socks and how awesome they are, you probably shouldn't write a subject line that says you'll get $1,000 if you click this email. It just doesn't work. So it needs to be relevant, and then ask yourself if it is something that a customer would find interesting or make you want to open it if they only saw the subject line. You don't have a lot of real estate for this, so you have to actually make it count. So it's like 10 to 12 words before it starts to cut off. So you want to use something personal that usually works, like, "Hey John, check this out, thought you might like this," something like that. That's just an example. But you want to make it personal. If you don't make it personal, it needs to be something interesting, like, "Hey, we should hang out sometime." That's like, it's just like, who are you? Why should we hang out? Something like that. It makes you want to open it. Alright, and then the last part is going to be the ELU test. And the ELU test is a kind of a formula that I created for creating content that kind of ensures that it will always be a little bit, not a little bit, but it'll be interesting. People will want to read it because of the way that you built it. So the ELU test basically says that it needs to qualify with at least 3 of these bullet points listed right here to be considered a decent post or a decent article, something like that, or a decent email. So E is for emotion. Does it trigger an emotion? Happy, sad, angry, irritated, funny, relaxing. Use. Is it useful or helpful to that user in any way? And define the use. Like, when you're creating that post or article, what is the use of that article? Think about that ahead of time. Is it actionable? Does it contain a call to action? Sign up, register, contact, purchase, download. It needs to be something that is actionable for them, that will make them do something after they read that article. Does it have or require links, and what should it link to? So an email, if you have a link in it, it should probably link to the store that you're referring to or a specific product in that store. Same thing with Facebook posts, anything, blog posts, whatever. And then urgency, sense of urgency, usually only in promotional types of emails or content, but for example, there are only 10 spots left, this is closing today, blah, blah, blah. It just depends on what you're talking about, but there needs to be some sort of sense of urgency to make, push them to buy it. Alright, and then try not to use more than one image in an email, or a video in an email. Too many images will make it get flagged, so, you don't want to do too many. And then finally, send a test email to ensure that it arrives in the proper spot. So if you're sending an email, I always do a test up front to make sure that it's going to go to the primary inbox or the updates inbox, so that way somebody will get a ping or a notification on their phone. If it goes to the promotions folder, say for example in Google, they don't get a notification on their phone. Usually it doesn't even tell them anything, but if it goes to the primary or the updates folder, it will notify them on their phone. And that's the end goal. That's really what you're wanting to do. You want them to get that notification, and to do that, you really just want, what I found is the best way to do it, keep the emails as basic as possible. Maybe one image, maybe one video. Don't do spammy content inside of it. Don't do too many links, and you'll pretty much get to the inbox every time. Now, you still have to do content that's going to make them want to read it, because even if you make it to the inbox, if they don't read it, it doesn't matter. So that's really it, though. I mean, that's how you start an email marketing campaign. From there, all you're going to want to do is you create other campaigns. So a campaign can be, if you wrote a blog article and you want that to release, you can set those to release. If you write a newsletter for a company, that can be a campaign, a one-time email that you do monthly. You just add those in and send them to specific lists. You can segment lists. So you can see right here, when you create a list, you can actually segment lists by types of buyers. So if people sign up at a specific area, like if they sign up through a funnel page or a lead page, something like that, you can create a segmented list to know where those people subscribe from. It just tells you it gives you more information on what type of buyer that person is going to be, and it's very good to use for segmenting out audiences. So if you sell dog food and cat food. You can segment out your audiences to know, okay, these people like dog food, these people like cat food. I'm going to send these people emails on dog food, these people emails on cat food. And that's it. It's very simple. You make it to where you know you're targeting the right audiences every time and you're not getting a bunch of jumbled messages. So that's it for email marketing, or at least for basic email marketing. This is really all I do. I don't do too much in-depth marketing with email. I will eventually, but for right now, I just provide the basic service because email marketing isn't really my focus. I know how to do it. I know how to make it look good, but it's not something that I bank on too heavily unless it's an e-commerce store. That makes it completely different. So anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful and useful. If you have any questions whatsoever about email marketing, please feel free to leave it below. I don't like to, I give you guys as many examples as I can, but I don't like to give you 100% of everything. You have to get in here and really work on it and, you know, just put in the work and test it out. Do some stuff yourself, because if you're not, then you'll never really know how to actually work in it when it comes time to getting in there. You won't feel comfortable. The only thing that's going to make you feel comfortable is by getting in the software, working with it, figuring things out, running some tests, and then moving forward, or having a better understanding from it then, and then moving forward with that understanding. So I give you guys enough to start, but you need to get in here and actually do some testing yourself. So run some email campaigns to your account, or maybe to some friends who will let you send them emails, so that way you can see what they think about it. But that's basically it, guys. So again, if you have questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments section below. And if just a quick little thing for you guys, if anybody's looking to get into the affiliate program, I'm going to start an affiliate marketing program here very soon. So just feel free to leave a comment down below saying you'd like to get in the affiliate section, or send me an email if you want to do that. But outside of that, again, I'm just glad I could do this for you guys, and I hope that it was helpful. So until the next episode, guys, Serial Entrepreneur out.